Good morning. Sorry it's been a while. Been busy. I just got back from a trip. Um, Went out of town for business, spent some time with coworkers, and some things have happened in my health, my medical, and some research I've personally done. Making some appointments for doctors and whatnot. But anyway, I wanted to make some content because I have a few things on my mind, and if I'm being brutally honest, I'm feeling a little sorry for myself, so I wanted to put that out there for my family, my thoughts. And again, like I always say, if anybody else can benefit from this, great. So recently, I'm fairly certain that I kind of self-diagnosed over the last couple of years that I have, in addition to the pain and the lung problems and all the other stuff and suffering my whole life, that I have quite a bit of problems with my stomach, and I'm 90% certain it's some type of IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, and certainly not superficial. In my case, I am becoming very, very, very restricted on what I can eat and drink. So the point of that is it's stacking. I might have mentioned that before. But, in my suffering, in my personal suffering, I give the analogy and I give the example of, okay, let's say you're a disabled person and you're in a wheelchair. For the most part, you can learn to, to get used to that, I guess, and to try to have a normal life, quotation marks, in spite of that. In my case, I think what's different is the first 18 years of my life were all lung-related problems and real severe allergies. But then I had a few good years in my 20s and kind of took advantage of it because I'm like, oh, well, I'm just on borrowed time. I'm probably die soon, but I'm feeling great. And then the pain started in my late 20s, early 30s. And then I've dealt with that for, 20 plus years, easily 25 plus years or whatever. And then in the last 5 years, it's been progressively getting worse that I have all these stomach issues. And so it's stacking, because none of the other things have gone away. So my suffering has gotten worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And that's what's really difficult. It's just, if you take the other stuff away, I might be able to deal with it. If I just had IBS, I deal with it. If I just had pain, I deal with it. And within the pain, like I've mentioned in previous videos, it's stacking, right? It's not just my back, it's my hips and my knees and my shoulders and my neck. And so it's stacking, many, many different things. And I'm so tired and I'm so spent. My energy is all spent on dealing with all this stuff. So getting back to this trip and my take on it and how I looked at it is, yes, it was fun. We went out to expensive restaurants and I won some prizes and all this stuff, but it becomes so superficial. And at one point in the evening, somebody had asked me, how come you weren't excited when you won stuff? And it's really, truly, I don't care, because all the other stuff is superficial. And yes, I appreciate it, and yes, I'm happy in that split second. But then I'm so much reminded of all the suffering and all my pain and all the struggles with food and drink and everything else. So it becomes very tiresome. And then when I see other people and they're normal, obviously everybody has some type of suffering. I'm not saying that there's nobody perfect or has a perfect life, but they have a fraction of my suffering. I become angry inside a little bit, sad inside a little bit, why me type of thing, right? And so I'm becoming very calloused to the world and calloused to other people's issues. Oh, I hurt my arm yesterday. Oh, it really hurts. I don't frickin' care. I don't care at all, not even a little. So the point of this, for people that are watching that are not part of my family, and even my family understanding my mentality and why I'm the way I am and why I react the way I react and why I'm, in this mood or that mood or whatever it may be. And I try to be in a generally happy mood or kind mood, humble mood. But that's why I am the way I am. And that's why I come off as aloof and don't care, because I truly don't. I don't care about much at all. The only positive is it makes me appreciate the semi-good days, and it makes me appreciate that I don't have any anxiety anymore or worries, because one, I try to live in the moment, and two, that my suffering has transcended my brain and makes me realize that it's all just a bunch of crap. It's all a game that we're playing. But I, again, just, a bit feeling sorry for myself and trying to understand my mentality. And if anybody ever watches this that knew me or knows me, they may understand why I am the way I am. Because if you are a person that knows me and you wonder, geez, he's a little strange, or he's a little aloof, or why doesn't he care, or why isn't he this, or why, but I do come off as happy and I'm kind to one another and all that, but you might wonder, he's a little different. That's why. It has just made me a completely different human being. Suffering does that. If you talk to people outside the United States and poor people, and I grew up poor, so obviously not as poor as some of the people that are walking 2 miles to get clean water, but that's why people change. That's why people are different, and we're all caught up in our own little lives and our own little sufferings that we become very selfish, and we don't think or care to want to know what other people are going through and why they are the way they are. So I hope that made a little bit of sense. Just wanted to share my thoughts. I guess it's therapeutic for me in a sense, and wanted to let everybody know. Thank you.